Hello everyone. What's up? Welcome to GMA 24, Update News Channel. Hope you will enjoy our news video. Before we begins, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Here is the news title. Families of Nottingham attack victims to meet. Keir Starmer and demand statutory inquiry report released. This week revealed startling failures in the mental health treatment of Valdo Callicane before he killed 3 people. The grieving families of 3 people killed on the streets of Nottingham by a knife man will meet Sir Keir Starmer next week to demand a judge-led statutory inquiry into their deaths. Valdo Callicane killed 19-year-old students Barnaby Webber and Grace O'Malley Kumar and 65-year-old caretaker Ian Coates before attempting to kill 3 other people in a spate of attacks in the city in June 2023. A report released this week set out in detail the contact he had with mental health services before the killing spree and highlighted shocking failings in his care. Among the startling admissions made in the report, it was said paranoid schizophrenic. Callicane avoided mandatory long-term antipsychotic treatment because of him not liking needles. It's reported the families of the 3 people killed by Callicane will meet Sir Keir Starmer on Wednesday afternoon at Downing Street. Mr. Webber's mother, Emma Webber, said the families hope the meeting will confirm that the promised inquiry has the teeth to make sure all those involved in Callicane's care leading up to the attack and those who investigated it are finally made to tell the truth. Rad Seiger, advisor to the families, said they have been invited to number 10 to discuss next steps. Downing Street has said Sir Keir is committed to a judge-led inquiry and has not ruled out a public inquiry with full statutory powers. Callicane was sentenced to an indefinite hospital order over the attacks. Prosecutors accepted his not guilty pleas to murder after medical evidence showed he had paranoid schizophrenia. He was later sentenced for manslaughter by reason of diminished responsibility and attempted murder. An independent review commissioned by NHS England found that the offer of care and treatment available for him was not always sufficient to meet his needs, and this was not unique to his case. It detailed 2 years of violent and disturbing behavior, 4 hospital admissions between 2020 and 2022, and multiple contacts with community teams before he was discharged to his GP because of a lack of interaction with mental health services. It also revealed that he was not forced to have long-lasting antipsychotic medication because he did not like needles. Mrs. Webber said, "It has been a long and traumatic battle for the families. But we are glad to finally have the opportunity to meet with the PM and senior cabinet ministers in what we hope will be the moment we get confirmation that the already promised public inquiry is going to be statutory, meaning that it has the teeth it needs to ensure all organizations, institutions, and individuals involved in the care, treatment of Callicane, and the investigation and prosecution of his crimes are finally made to tell the truth. It has to be a watershed moment in this country to hold those who fail to account, address miscarriages of justice, and crucially, bring in changes needed to keep the public safe and make sure this can never happen again." Mr. Seiger said Callicane should simply not have been out on the streets free to wreak havoc. He said the inquiry must be a judge-led statutory inquiry where witnesses are compelled to attend to give evidence. Mr. Seiger added, "The families will not stop in the name of their loved ones until a light is shown on exactly what went wrong at every step of the way that led to the killings in Nottingham, that those responsible are held fully to account, and that steps are taken once and for all to ensure atrocities like this never happen again." The victims of the Nottingham attacks are set to meet Sir Keir Starmer next week to demand a judge-led statutory inquiry into the tragic deaths of their loved ones. The attack, carried out by Valdo Callicane in June 2023, claimed the lives of 19-year-old students Barnaby Webber and Grace O'Malley Kumar, as well as 65-year-old caretaker Ian Coates. A report released this week has shed light on severe failures in the mental health treatment of Callicane prior to the attacks. It details significant lapses in the care he received and highlights how he managed to evade necessary long-term antipsychotic treatment due to his personal dislike of needles. These findings have intensified calls for accountability and reform. Mrs. Emma Webber, mother of Barnaby Webber, expressed hope that the meeting with Sir Keir Starmer would result in a firm commitment to an inquiry with the authority to ensure All those involved in Callocaine's care and subsequent investigation are compelled to reveal the full truth. The families demand an inquiry that has teeth, meaning it must possess statutory powers to subpoena witnesses and hold individuals accountable. Twined. Saiger, an advisor to the families, confirmed that they have been invited to Downing Street for discussions on the next steps. Downing Street has reassured the families that Sir Keir Starmer is committed to a judge-led inquiry and has not ruled out a full public inquiry with statutory authority. Callocane, who was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, was sentenced to an indefinite hospital order after being convicted of manslaughter by reason of diminished responsibility and attempted murder. Prosecutors had accepted his not guilty pleas to murder based on medical evidence of his mental illness. The independent review commissioned by NHS England revealed systemic failures in Callocaine's mental health care. The report detailed his violent and disturbing behavior over 2 years, including 4 hospital admissions between 2020 and 2022. Despite multiple interactions with community mental health teams, he was ultimately discharged to his GP due to a lack of sustained engagement with services. Shockingly, he was not compelled to take long-term antipsychotic medication, simply because he objected to injections. Mrs. Weber emphasized the emotional toll the fight for justice has taken on the families, stating, "It has been a long and traumatic battle. But we are glad to finally have the opportunity to meet with the PM and senior cabinet ministers. We hope this meeting will confirm that the already promised public inquiry is going to be statutory." She further stressed that this inquiry must serve as a watershed moment for the country, ensuring accountability and driving systemic reforms to prevent future tragedies. Mr. Saiger reinforced the necessity of a statutory inquiry, stating that Callocane should simply not have been out on the streets free to wreak havoc. He insisted that the inquiry must be robust, compelling key witnesses to provide evidence and ensuring full transparency at every stage. The families remain determined to pursue justice in the names of their loved ones. They demand that all failures leading up to the Nottingham attack be meticulously examined, those responsible be held accountable, and measures be implemented to prevent such incidents from occurring again in the future. As the families prepare for their crucial meeting at Downing Street, their relentless pursuit of justice underscores the need for a comprehensive review of the failings in mental health care and public safety. Their demands for a statutory inquiry seek to shine a light on systemic deficiencies and drive meaningful change to protect future village full of millionaires where there's Lamborghinis everywhere you look. Despite being located nearly 200 miles away from London, a small Cheshire village is widely considered as one of the wealthiest parts of the country. When thinking of the wealthiest places in the UK, most Brits would immediately imagine boroughs of London such as Kensington, Chelsea, and Mayfair. All of these areas are particularly centrally located, surrounded by history, and have all the designer stores and high-end facilities anyone could dream of. However, arguably, the poshest part of the UK is a small northern village located nearly 200 miles away from the centre of London. Sometimes referred to as the Knightsbridge of the North, Alderley Edge is a village in Cheshire that has a population of less than 5,000 but has gained notoriety for its prime location within the Golden Triangle. In particular, a significant number of Premier League footballers, actors, and successful business people have famously lived in the small village, giving it a number of interesting attractions for visitors. Whilst there is evidence that the area has been inhabited since the Bronze Age, Alderley Edge became notable for its famous inhabitants from the 20th century onwards. It is a particularly popular choice for footballers, with former Manchester United players Rio Ferdinand, Andy Cole, and David Beckham, all choosing it over the years. In addition to players from further afield such as Joleon Lescott and Cristiano Ronaldo, a variety of actors and actresses have also called the village their home, including Helen Flanagan, Denise Welch, and Tim Healy. Given its prime location, in the Cheshire Golden Triangle, those visiting Alderley Edge will encounter plenty of high-end attractions, including mega mansions on the outskirts of the edge of the village. Unsurprisingly for such a wealthy location, Alderley Edge has plenty of designer shops and boutique cafes. However, independent bakeries, dairies, and a farmer's market can also be found. Some social media users have even set up accounts dedicated to spotting interesting historic vehicles and supercars within the small village, finding legendary Ferrari, F40s and Lamborghini Huracans out for daily drives. Whilst many would consider Alderley Edge to be an interesting destination to visit for all of its famous inhabitants, most Brits would find it difficult to justify moving there. According to Rightmove, the average property sold in Alderley Edge during 2023 cost $680,982, with detached properties typically fetching nearly $1.2 million. However, Brits looking to move are able to get a flat in the village for a slightly fairer average price of $305,426, which is significantly less than it would cost Cheshire. Approximately 200 miles away from London lies the affluent village of Alderley Edge, often dubbed the Knightsbridge of the North. With a population of fewer than 5,000 residents, the village boasts an unparalleled level of wealth, making it one of the most exclusive and luxurious places to live in the UK. Despite its small size, Alderley Edge is a thriving hub for celebrities, successful business people, and sports stars, particularly footballers from the Premier League. When discussing the wealthiest places in the UK, the mind typically gravitates towards London's most prestigious boroughs, Kensington, Chelsea, and Mayfair. These areas are synonymous with wealth, boasting historic buildings, luxury designer stores, and high-end facilities that cater to the elite. However, Alderley Edge, despite its distance from the capital, rivals these locations in opulence and exclusivity. The Golden Triangle, the heart of Cheshire's wealth. Alderley Edge sits within Cheshire's Golden Triangle, a term used to describe the affluent cluster of towns and villages that also includes Wilmslow and Prestbury. This area has long been associated with prosperity, housing some of the richest people in the country. Due to its appeal, the village has become a magnet for the elite, offering a serene, picturesque environment combined with top-tier amenities. The region is particularly famous for being the residence of numerous footballers, past and present. Manchester United legends Rio Ferdinand, Andy Cole, and David Beckham have all lived in the village at various points in their careers. Even international football stars such as Cristiano Ronaldo and Jolyon Lescott have chosen to call Alderley Edge home. But it's not just footballers who are drawn to the village. A slew of actors and television personalities have also resided in the area, including Helen Flanagan, Denise Welch, and Tim Healy. The allure of Alderley Edge goes beyond its celebrity inhabitants. It is a community that offers exclusivity, safety, and luxury in equal measure. A village draped in luxury. For those visiting Alderley Edge, the wealth on display is striking. The streets are lined with high-end boutiques, designer shops, and independent artisan businesses that cater to a clientele accustomed to the finer things in life. Exclusive bars, fine dining establishments, and boutique cafes provide residents and visitors with an exquisite culinary experience, further solidifying the village's status as a luxury destination. Mega mansions can be seen scattered across the outskirts, with properties featuring sprawling gardens, private gyms, and indoor swimming pools. Those driving through the village are likely to witness a parade of supercars, from Lamborghinis and Ferraris to Bentleys and Aston Martins. Some social media users have even dedicated accounts to documenting the extravagant vehicles that grace the streets of Alderley Edge, often capturing rare classics like the Ferrari F40 or the Lamborghini Huracan on their daily drives. Despite its affluence, Alderley Edge retains a touch of traditional charm. Visitors can explore independent bakeries, locally sourced dairies, and a farmer's market that provides fresh, high-quality produce. The blend of old and new makes the village a fascinating place, seamlessly merging modern luxury with time-honored traditions. The cost of living in Alderley Edge. While Alderley Edge is undeniably one of the most desirable locations in the UK, the cost of living here is steep. The average property price in 2023 was $680,982, with detached homes typically selling for close to $1.2 million. Flats, on the other hand, present a more affordable option, averaging around $305,426. While these prices are significantly lower than those found in London's luxury districts, they are still well above the UK average, reinforcing the village's exclusivity. For many, the allure of living in Alderley Edge is outweighed by its cost. However, those who can afford it enjoy an unrivaled standard of living, with the added benefit of being within close proximity to Manchester, making it convenient for professionals who work in the city but wish to reside in a more peaceful, prestigious setting. A destination worth visiting. Even if moving to Alderley Edge is beyond reach for most, it remains a fascinating place to visit. The village's thriving social scene, stunning countryside, and luxurious ambiance make it an attractive day trip destination for those curious to experience the lifestyle of the elite. From high-end shopping and fine dining to supercar spotting and scenic walks, Alderley Edge offers a unique glimpse into the world of the wealthy.